Hi, I'm Angel True with True Living Synergy Coaching.
And I'm Mindie Kniss with Kniss Integrative Coaching. Today we're here to talk about consciousness, creativity, action, and results, which come together for the Heart of Purpose.
And the Heart of Purpose is a conversation with coaches about your work, your spirit, and your life. Every month we take your questions on a new topic, and this month's topic is marketing.
So, to jump right in, our first question on marketing is, what is the difference between marketing, sales, advertising, and networking? And the follow-up is, which of these is most important for small businesses on a small budget?
That's a really good question. So marketing, sales, advertising, and networking, they all are actually four very distinct things I look at. Marketing is really about getting the message out. So telling your customers what you have available, what they can get from you, what they can find, where they can find it. That bridges into advertising. So marketing is kind of the message, that's how I look at it. Advertising is perhaps the ads that you would put out there, or the videos, or the social networking, however you're going to get the word out. There's a lot of different forms that can take, and that's more like the medium of transmission. Sales, when I look at sales, I think of that as like closing the deal. So someone comes to you and says, I want to buy this, and you go, great, how do I, which one do I want for you, or what service do I need from you, what's the best choice, and then closing the deal. There's a whole art of selling there. Networking is sort of a cross between marketing and advertising. It's really about getting the word out. So as a small business, you need to really make connections with people, make connections with colleagues or other affiliated businesses, and that's more about growing a support group or growing maybe an environment or a community around your business. That's how I see the four separated.
Yeah, and I would definitely agree. I think that marketing is what you do, regardless of what your role is or your job title is. Marketing is what you do to be in business. You're living that business, you're talking about that business, you're sharing that business with other people. I think a lot of all of this fits into marketing. Sales, I think of, it's the money. It's the transaction of, I am providing you a product or a service, you are paying me money. That's the sales bit. Advertising, I tend to think of, when I'm talking about advertising, I tend to think of specifically paid advertising, but that's just me. And then networking, like you were saying, is creating community. The difference is you're not going to say be marketing to a photographer, but yet in any small business you may need a photographer to take your photo or a photo of your products or anything like that. So that's like creating your network. It's getting to know who can help build your business through a whole variety of different ways, but that's kind of difference. Which one of these would you think is most important for small business and small budget? I say all of them.
Yeah, they all become important. I think when it comes to the budget conversation, it becomes a question of where and how. And like I say, they're really separated. Marketing is the message that you come up with, and everyone has to be able to market their products and services. The advertising is where the money comes in,
exactly.
Right? That's where you're spending money on, postcards or advertisement in magazines or newspapers or online. The sales, again, that's where you're closing the deal.
That's where you're getting the money.
Right, that's where you're getting the money. And the networking is just part of building the relationship. So what's most important for a small business on a small budget? I would say effective, appropriate, targeted advertising would be the part where your budget comes into play.
Yeah, the other budgetary aspect potentially could be in networking if it's some sort of networking group that there is some cost to join it, like Chamber of Commerce or things like that. In different cities, they have all kinds of different small business networks, and some of them there's some sort of fee to become a member. And when you're just getting started, it's probably not in your best interest to spend a whole lot of money on that. But look at the ones that are either free or less costly, and maybe go for that to start, and then you can work your way up.
Yeah, great idea. So the next question, why do you think people embrace the skill of marketing as a good thing for their businesses or profession, but shy away from the skill of selling, although they are so closely intertwined?
I'll just speak from the experience that I've had, not only in my own business, but with my clients, is that they're passionate about what they do. So in a sense, the marketing aspect, it's almost a natural thing. Like, Angel, let me tell you about this awesome thing. It's just that enthusiasm is kind of boiling over. So that, I think, comes a little bit more naturally to them. The sales bit, I think, is twofold. Part of it could be a confidence issue or a core value of how much am I worth? Is it do I deserve to be making money in this industry? Do I deserve? And that goes, there's a whole money mindset that's what I'm talking about in that conversation. But the other piece of it is just getting practice at asking for the sale.
Right.
This is how much I charge. Would you like to sign up? Something like that. Just having the practice, because the first time or first few times you do it, it might not be very comfortable. But it's just about learning techniques, learning things to say, learning how that connection point works in that sales process, and then going from there.
Yeah, I think the reason that it gets shied away from is because I think selling has such a bad rap. We're all used to the stereotypical cliche image of like the used car salesman,
right?
Like that, where it's all about buy, or sell.
You need this.
Yeah, you need this. And pushing reasons that might or might not be legitimate or appropriate or real. And I think this is where we get into the separation of what is the difference between marketing and selling. So marketing is about creating the message. Selling is, like you said, it's about asking for the sale. And there's a lot of techniques out there about how to do that effectively and with finesse in a way that people don't feel like you're preaching to them or selling to them or trying to sell them, a used car lemon that doesn't work.
Right, that they don't even want.
That they don't even want or need.
Yeah.
So, I think it's that old holdover image of what selling means that has people shying away from it. And I think the more that we help people understand the two aspects of what marketing and selling is, the more effective they can be both.
Yeah, and there's so many resources, like you were mentioning. There's lots of different techniques, and some people gravitate more toward the strong sell. I would say in today's marketplace, that's not as appealing as what's maybe called the soft sell or pull marketing. There's all these different terms that people use, but there are loads of techniques. So it's getting in, learning about them, becoming educated about which one feels best to you, and then really just practice. All right, next question. Is it important to figure out a logo and have a brand before you get started? How might someone handle changing brands midstream?
Wow, brand and logo. So many different answers I could give to this, actually. I would say both yes and no. I think brands and logos are incredibly important in the marketing process. Brands and logos are all about building an identity that people will recognize. So if you don't have a brand, if you don't have an identity, even if it's as simple as your name and title or the name of your company, those are all brand images. It becomes very difficult for people to remember who you are and to remember what you do. Your brand and logo is all about communicating your values, communicating your products, communicating your services, communicating what you're there to help them do. So do you need it? No. Will it help you? Most definitely.
Yes. I think, I want to touch on the second part of that about handling changing brands, because I just did that last year. And one of the reasons that I did that was I was working with a business mentor, and I had already, for the last couple of years before that, established a particular brand. I had a particular